Terrific Tuesday evening to everyone. Today is the 11th of July. This is a Tuesday evening, 2023. It is now 8:53 p.m. in the evening. One moment. Me on a city street, so therefore people can or should expect people to be maybe nearby or traffic or both. So be mindful that there may be brief disruptions. So me in a Rolling Condo, this is the next day, not a continuation of yesterday's video because me wearing the same clothes. Therefore, it may make a person think that this is the same day, a continuation of the video before. This is just simply me wearing the same clothes as me do a lot of the time. Because throughout this lifestyle, adjustments have been made. A lot of choices, such as having a lot of choices, have been reduced. It fits the real lifestyle, and therefore a lot of what I thought me needed and wanted and had to have has been stored or given away. And being of this lifestyle, for those that haven't experienced it or is experiencing it or would like to re-enter the lifestyle, one may learn or even accept that usually there's a reduction of one's belongings to be in this lifestyle, and especially if one wants to be a part of what we call van life. Now, those that are coined in this quote-unquote van life does not mean that we're excluding those that live in a different arrangement, such as a Class A or Class B or Class C or tent or just living out in the elements. You're not excluded. You're part of the same community. It's just a coined term, van life, for a lot of people. And maybe those maybe have other labels for it, but at the time of this video, people relate to van life. So whether you live in your car or bus or SUV, is still a part of the same lifestyle, which is basically living away from traditional living such as sticks and bricks. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. It's simply many people like this lifestyle because it maybe leads to financial freedom, or maybe it just leads to a different type of social arrangement. There's many reasons for this lifestyle. And as mentioned, for me, this lifestyle began in 2006. And it wasn't full time, but it was where it could have been. Me was trying to make it to where the circumstance would be perfect to get into it. There's enough money, there's enough resources, the proper vehicle, and it just seemed like the imagination just didn't become reality. Because me poor, and me not saying that to be humorous, so therefore me didn't have the money or the resource to get what I me imagined, because what me prefer to have would not be this rolling condo. It would be a rolling condo, but it wouldn't be this one. What me prefer to have would have been a school bus, or it would have been a box truck with the overhead cab, with the side door, perhaps double doors in the back, with the lift gate, and the lift gate would have been purposed as a backyard and a way to get items in and out of here that may be cumbersome to lift and transport, or to just exit or enter the rolling condo. So me still believe that. But this rolling condo that me, as mentioned, is a 2009 Ford Corner Line E350 extended with the high roof, was not planned. It was thought about. It was figured. It was more of the lesser of what me preferred to have. It was it was thought of as a choice, and the reason for this chosen is because of the frequent use of needing to be in city streets and certain places where parking is necessary, like a parkometer, and in certain businesses where the parking space will accommodate this this or a smaller vehicle. So that's why this was accepted, because of the frequency of needing to be in city lifestyles. And of course, this can apply to the rural and suburbia setting, but overall, is me primarily in the city setting where it's ideal to be conscious and prepared for parking with the meter or parking space. And therefore, this was chosen for that because it can fit in most parking meters. However, what I mean by that is this is normally parked either the beginning of the street or the end of the street. Not once have me try to get in between any vehicles. I don't do that with a small vehicle. Me don't never want to be blocked in or too tight where someone may be too close. So me always on the beginning of the street or the end of the street. And most certainly, me love to park away from as many people as possible, so it won't be a concern about maybe the door won't open or the risk of damaging someone's vehicle because they're too close, or because we're not going to be close to any person. We're going to always be a way to reduce that possibility. So this lifestyle is unique, like any lifestyle, but this is a unique lifestyle because it requires being inventive, a lot of problem solving. Well, at least it could. And possibly adjusting to some discomforts that could become comfortable once the adjustment is made. Traditionally, if me had the option, me would have had an air conditioned, very spacious type of arrangement. Tiny home, a traditional sticks and bricks home, and if it's going to be on the road, it would be likely an RV, a recreational vehicle. And to go from that type of wish list to a van, the things that I wanted to have in here had to be adjusted a few times. Because before, me attempted to have 2 sofa beds in here to make sufficient seating. In addition to that, same seating could be transferred to a spacious bed. Well, it doesn't mean that it couldn't work. It just wouldn't work with the items that were here. So, had to reduce. Clothing, had to reduce. A lot of shoes and accessories had to be reduced. To the point where it's no here. It's in storage. So this lifestyle, for those that want to re-enter it or have experienced it or is experiencing it, or those that would love to enter this lifestyle, this may be useful information to a few who may think that it's wise to bring their worldly goods into a vehicle. It's possible for those that can afford that arrangement or have those resources, then that's realistic. But there's a community of people like myself where if your vehicle needs to be maintenance and your worldly possessions are inside, it would be cumbersome to have to remove it and figure where to place it until the vehicle is restored to be operational. So me thought about what to do about that. So it's ideal to have a way of storing those items since it is a vehicle, because a mechanic may not be able to perform the work with the items inside. It may not necessarily be the weight. It may be the weight, but it may be that the items are blocking where one has to go to get to that electrical or mechanical part to repair or replace it. So this lifestyle is unique, and me enjoying it. Um, I would love to get, as mentioned, a box truck, school bus, but not with a lot of windows. As much as me love how it look, me in the city, and sure, crime is everywhere and concern is anywhere, but me always thinking safety first. And I'm aware that this video has me appearing dark, so I'm gonna learn if the lights will be ideal to have on. Without making it uncomfortably hot. And have the light on, but not enough to make it to where I'm going to be uncomfortable. So anyway, this lifestyle is unique, but it's strategic because me using it to assist with financial freedom. Because first of all, as mentioned, me poor, and me poor for various reasons. It was from failures, foolish, being foolhardy, and being ignorant. Being ignorant is most certainly one of the main reasons for me being in poverty, because me didn't have the resources, although me asked the right questions, probably to the right people, and perhaps the right people just didn't want me to know the answer to how me could become financially free when I'm among them who are financially free. So therefore, me using this lifestyle as a extreme to figure financial freedom, because me figure take enough with me where if there's a way to operate a business from this Rolling Condo, then maybe like to create that capability. What if it's delivery, or what if it's customer services via the use of internet, connoting that have to use Starlink, which we don't have, or some sort of internet device to be able to establish a business while being on the road. So we haven't figured what is the secret sauce to making that happen. So this is a strategic way to save money, but is it really saving money? It feels more like a trade-off right now. Well, not feel it. It's determined that it's more of a trade-off, because in essence, how much does it cost to have a groceries inside of a sticks and bricks refrigerator. Probably can get a lot more in a home style refrigerator than this cool box with a few items in there that the solar generator has to be recharged frequently and have to find places to go to charge it because the solar panel attached to it is not sufficient to make it 100% independent of needing to plug into a traditional power socket. So it's strategic. Gotta find places to go to refresh, to purify. Don't go to the same place every time. How much does it cost to travel to and from? Don't want to be seen too often. So there's lots of money being spent or used or invested, perhaps the word invested, to be of this lifestyle. So does one really save? How much propane is used? How much butane is used? How much is electric being used? How much one has to restock supplies? How frequent one has to travel to go get these supplies? So it's a unique lifestyle in which expenses could be just as much as being in the sticks and bricks. And so I'm trying to make it to where me win opposed to breaking even. As we stated before, this lifestyle me haven't seemed to saved much in all areas. It's like me more so just don't spend as much, if that makes sense. Like it's not that I spend more in some areas, yes, but as a totality, it's like me, it's almost like, should I go back to a sticks and bricks? Was I breaking even with this lifestyle? And I think about that because most certainly the square footage is not comparable to a sticks and bricks, not what me had. Because what me had was spacious enough for multiple people. But what they all had in common is we didn't own them. And that was the primary reason of beginning this lifestyle, is because at the time when we begun this lifestyle in 2005, 2006, a townhome that we had, as mentioned, it was a 2-bedroom with a dining room, 2 living rooms, 2 garage, 3 floors. And it wasn't as beautiful as the way me making it sound, but it was charming. And we have videos of that, but not on this channel as such, not yet. Maybe I'll add it, but it was a rental, and it was in 2005, but I've had it before that. I moved there in 2002. We moved there in 2002, and it was $600 and about $625, $650. No more than $700, but with the electric and with the electric, yeah, and the gas and electric, it would exceed that. But the point is that just the rent alone was about $650 US, and times that by 12 months in a year and compare that to the income at the time, it wasn't logical. It was a feel good time. It was a sex appeal bragging right to myself, but it wasn't long-term logical. So this lifestyle has caused me to, well, not caused me, but this lifestyle has inspired me to think about how to be conservative. And when, if we choose to um, reinstate that kind of lifestyle with more than enough space or more than enough material things, then fine. I want it to be organically easy to do, not a concern of struggle. How is it going to be paid? How much money is left? But it's just easy. Now, by the way, for those that heard $650 US for rent in 2005, that is because that was in the Midwest. And at the time, that was considered probably competitive to a suburban, nice looking dwelling that wasn't like slum or some would probably say ghetto. It's none of that. It was sexy. It was just simply the Midwest where me rented was just economical and it's an affordable luxury. So anyway, but so this lifestyle, it's really more so what one makes it, like anywhere, like anyway. Um, but for me, it's most certainly an adjustment in terms of how much can be possessed and transported, and how much, um, how many adjustments are made to have a way of staying pure, happy. What I mean by happy is not the concern of being lonely. For some people, depressed, sad. Um, I can just increase the light. That's what it's for. But this I have to substitute it with the breeze being near me. So prayerfully that the breeze is not going to be loud for the microphone. But so anyway, so this lifestyle most certainly has um, challenges, rewards, for some people, regrets, ultimate happiness for a lot of people. As mentioned, it's just like sticks and bricks or however one lives. It has to be problem solved, problem prevented. So there's no one size fits all lifestyle in essence. But one may be able to adapt someone's lifestyle. But it's most certainly, it could be a good way to get started. But most certainly, it may be ideal to most certainly think about how can you make it your own, add your own signature to it. Because one may look at this Rolling Condo and say, I want it just like that. But it may not be realistic for your lifestyle. Just like me, really prefer to have some of the way some of the people have their buses outfitted, but it won't fit in this van. I've seen some box trucks that I would love to have it outfitted just the way I seen it, but it wouldn't fit in this van. Or it may be too heavy for this van. Because everything in this vehicle, I would say in fact, I'm going to say the heaviest thing in this vehicle besides what came with the vehicle, the cool box, and the sofa bed is likely the same weight. And that would be about 60, 70 pounds. That's the heaviest thing in here. So if I round it off, the cool box is about 70 pounds, maybe less. Some would probably say, are you talking about empty? Well, empty is probably about 50 pounds. I'm just rounding it out on the high end, just to give a way to gauge what we have in here. So about 60, 70 pounds for the cool box. About 50 pounds, 60 pounds for the sofa bed. And the table across from it, about 5 pounds. Without the stuff on it, about 5 pounds. The 2-burner propane cooker, about 5 pounds. 6 pounds. And the, what do you call it? The cupboard above the sink, and the one matching at the bottom, about empty, about 30 pounds. So in essence, there's only a few hundred pounds in here tops with everything. I mean, everything in here is only a few hundred pounds, several hundred pounds tops. So I would say everything in here is probably about, on a high end, 1,000 pounds. That's on the high end, and that's thinking about everything possible in here that me brought in here that didn't come with the vehicle. At the highest amount is about 1,000 pounds. It could be all removed in here, removed from here within minutes, because there is not one screw that is holding this stuff together. It is just navigate the vehicle carefully and be strategic on how things are placed so it doesn't tip. But there's nothing breakable in this build except what came with the vehicle manufacturally. Otherwise, no breakable items. So this video is approaching 30 minutes. Just vibing. It's no thing to learn from. So as mentioned in other videos, we welcome questions, comments, suggestions, complaints, ideas. One communicates, just simply communicate your thoughts, and please be polite, and a response will be provided. Because the channel is to make it welcoming, wholesome, friendly, and perhaps make everybody find each other. Because it's a very unique lifestyle. It's incredible, the people that one can meet and grow with. It's a lovely time to be a part of this lifestyle. I'm happy that there are like-minded people who understand this lifestyle, because in essence there are still a few people with their prejudices who will think if you're out in the elements or live in the car or SUV or van or truck or pickup truck, bus, it's usually a negative thought, because people are traditional thinkers that one has to exist in a sticks and bricks. But sometimes people will think that one is in destitute, bum, hobo, and I accept that me a hobo, a gypsy, don't make me no never mind, because the person that's doing the casting of stones isn't helping me anyway. Not for my betterment. So overall, it doesn't concern me what a person really is thinking. So Prayerfully, everyone is in harmony with each other. And if there are coming across new people, is to have a open mind to learn that person. Allow them to showcase who they are, opposed to you assuming who they are. Um, and be a listener opposed to thinking that one already knows a person based on appearance or based on stereotypes. But allow a person to express themselves. Um, Allow a person to give you a fresh perspective so we can be in harmony globally. So we can basically have only love in the world opposed to a mixture of hatred and rage, misunderstanding, lack of understanding, failure to understand each other, but create a harmony, create a platform where we can just allow each other to fully express oneself. And that's what this channel would allow one to do, is express yourself, even if it's complaints, because we're not a know-it-all. If one has comments to make or complaints to make, me welcome that, because me don't know it all, and the approach that me will take is perhaps me wrong. Let me learn, why did this person create that statement? What is it about me, or is it about me, why a person chose to choose me to make that statement in written form, physical form, verbal form? Me want to know, because me always willing to elevate in knowledge. Change, me comfortable with that. We just want to just understand, should a change, and if we do change, me want to understand why. So let's invite fresh perspectives. Let's invite being a magnificent listener. Let's invite doing our best to wholeheartedly understand each other, beginning with understanding self. Because in essence, if one doesn't understand the true value of self, or understand self in its totality, it possibly may risk why one can't understand another. So there are no concerns about being defensive about what one can say. Just simply provide your thoughts, your truths, cast your stones, because just maybe it's because me was wrong and just was unaware of it. So that's vibe. So it's 33 minutes of this video. There was no theme as mentioned in the previous video. Perhaps maybe some content will be provided so one can be offered to learn from it. This is not that video. This is just vibing. Just like the previous video was just vibing. So this video will be titled Just Vibing Part 2. So it is now 9:26 Tuesday evening, July the 11th, 2023. Have a magnificent Tuesday, or make it a magnificent Tuesday, and keep it a magnificent every day, every night. Don't just have it one part of the week, but have it every day, every night, every evening. My name is Saruno, and that's Vibe. Hasta luego. Hablar contigo, Rusuesi. Chao pa ahora. Sí.